What's up, friends, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Charles, and I'm your host here at the Food Fight Club. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me here for another episode. So, I heard you've been thinking about going on another restrictive diet. Is that right? So, how many times does that make so far in your life? 3 times? 5? 7? You lost track? I lost track too. As a matter of fact, my life was a string of diets from the time when I was about 6 or 7 until I was almost 51. I was really beaten down by my mom and diet culture early in my life. And honestly, it's been a bitch to come back from. I still have occasional bad days, even after 8 years of recovery. But my case goes so far back in my history that I'm literally trying to reprogram my subconscious. Your problem may not be that old, but it could also be a lot worse. We're all different, and we all suffer from different degrees of dysfunction and trauma in our lives. So let me ask you, how is going on another restrictive diet going to be different this time? It's a good question, right? Do you think this time you're not going to gain back the weight you lost? Also, what do you think will be different this time as opposed to the last 3 times? These are stingers. I know. If these questions are hitting nerves and you don't really have solid answers, well, you may be at a crossroads in your life. I think it was Einstein who said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." Did you know that the diet industry is the only industry that when their product fails, they can blame it on you? Think about that. Let it sink in. There's no other industry that gets a free pass like that. Why do you think that is? I mean, I have my theories, but that's for another day. Choosing never to diet again sounds like a scary proposition to some. Most shudder at the thought, but it's probably the most sane and healthiest decision you can make. But it's hard to understand because you've been hypnotized and put under the spell from years of media messaging. From a young age, you've been programmed to be unsatisfied with who you are and how you look. You're stuck in an endless loop of dieting. You lose weight, people start to compliment and praise you. You get comfortable and confident, and you get tired of restricting, and between the praise you've been getting and, the wall you're hitting, and you start thinking, I can stop this. I think I'm done, because your willpower's running out. And you can feel your grip slipping, so you stop. But then it happens. You start eating again, maybe even binging, because that's the psychological and physiological rebound that comes with restriction. Your appetite is borderline out of control, and then mentally, things start to get a little dark. You start thinking, why am I so weak? You're beating yourself up. Why can't I just keep this off like everyone else? What's wrong with me? Here's a hint. There's nothing wrong with you. Then for some time, the separation and isolation start. Want to go for dinner with the gang? Nah, I can't. I have to, wash my cat. Insert your bullshit excuse here. I hate to say this, but if you've been through this cycle more than a few times, it's likely you may have the beginnings or be in the throes of disordered eating or have a full-blown eating disorder. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Restrictive dieting is the gateway drug to eating disorders. It's a never-ending cycle. All because you're truly blindsided by a multi-hundred-billion-dollar industry, the diet industry. The supplements, the drinks, the pills, the fads, the products, the programs, even the drugs now. Do you see it yet? All they want is your money. They don't give a shit about you and your health. And when you fail, well, it's your fault. Oh well, it's not on us. Try again. Maybe you'll get it next time. They almost taunt you. But just not dieting isn't the answer either. There has to be a balance, a key to a happy medium. Somewhere you can live and thrive without strict rules, guilt, and shame. I've been on the not diet. I gained a ton of weight. I felt like crap. I was running myself into the ground. It's not sustainable either. For those of us who are super conscious of all these feelings and notions, those that have these thoughts swirling around our heads, the constant food fight, not knowing where to turn, we all know it's very, very stressful. Getting rid of all this baggage is quite an undertaking. But let's not think of it in a negative light. Let's look at it like an adventure, like an Indiana Jones movie or something like that. Indiana Jones and the Search for Self, where you're the main character and you're on the quest for the key to the solution of your problems. Where along the way, you're figuring things out, you're finding truths, fitting puzzle pieces together, examining the world around you, mending your past to build a better future. This future you want, well, you can have it as you learn intuitive eating. You can learn intuitive eating at your own pace and move as fast or as slow as you want. We're all different. That's what I loved about it. I was immediately in love with the freedom it helped me feel. I couldn't believe there was life after a restrictive diet. I was so ready to throw all those food rules out. And I had no idea this existed. The truth is, I was literally about to mentally snap. Actually, I think I was in the middle of snapping when I found out about it. And thank God I found it. I give full credit to my coach and intuitive eating for pulling me out of the abyss and giving me my life back and my sanity. If what I've just described in the past in the video sounds familiar and you want similar results, please click the link and get in touch. Let's have a no-strings conversation and figure out if intuitive eating is a good fit for you. If this video helped you, if you liked what you heard, please give it a like, share it with a friend, or consider subscribing. Drop a comment below. Let me know what's on your mind. I respond to all the comments. Well, I'll see you next time, friends. You got a lot to think about. I love you guys. If I didn't love you guys, I wouldn't come. I wouldn't do these, all right? So take it easy, be well, and we'll talk soon. Take care.